Joining me now is Trish Newport, an emergency coordinator for Doctors Without Borders, joining me from the DRC. Trish, it's good to see you again. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
I wonder if you could just put things into perspective for viewers now. The WHO officially declared this outbreak in mid-May, and just 3 short months later, what has allowed this outbreak to spread at such an exceptional pace?
It's a horrible, horrible situation here right now. The outbreak started so big to begin with. By the time the outbreak was identified, there were already over 300 suspect cases, more than 55 deaths. And it was really the response, the Ebola had a very hard time catching up to it, and it has never caught up to it. Today, there are cases in areas where there's absolutely no response. Everyone is stretched to their capacity. And so, to respond to an Ebola outbreak, wherever there is a case, you need every single pillar of Ebola response in place. You need to have isolation, you need to have lab capacity, you need to be able to have surveillance, contact tracing, and most of all, you need to have engagement with the community. Today, this isn't happening everywhere where there are new cases. Even when there's a lot of cases, we see there's not a full Ebola response. You still have communities where there are 15 to 20 deaths in the community. There are people that aren't even getting to an isolation. And we know that if someone dies of Ebola in the community, you can have up to 10, 15 cases that just come from that one death. And so it's a horrible situation, and we need to urgently scale up the amount of resources that are here to be able to respond to this outbreak.
It sounds absolutely horrible and really just punctuated by what we've heard from the UN now warning that the spread of Ebola is outpacing response efforts in the DRC. What do you think, Trish, would be specifically key in trying to slow the spread?
I mean, to slow the spread, there always needs to be community engagement. The community always needs to be involved. But on top of that, we need more resources. We can't, in some places where there are new cases, there's literally no organization that has the capacity to go set up an isolation, do safe and dignified burials, discuss with the community. And as long as there's no response, this builds time for rumors, myths to grow, for the community to be more at risk, for more families to be affected and die. So there needs to be a serious, serious scale up of the amount of resources that are available to be able to respond.
What have you been learning about these ongoing efforts to not only test, eventually approve and deploy this badly needed vaccine for this particular rare Ebola strain?
This is very needed, but just as a reminder, the big Ebola outbreak here in DRC from 2018 to 2020, there was a vaccine that was available. There was a vaccine that was being used, and the outbreak still went for 2 years. And so while a vaccine is badly needed, treatments are badly needed, these aren't a vaccine isn't the magic answer. We still need to have the capacity to be able to respond to all of these cases. We still need to have the on board, understanding what Ebola is and helping guide what the response is. So even if a vaccine appeared tomorrow, this isn't the magic bullet, and we still need a massive scale up of resources on the ground.
Trish Newport, our thanks to you and the entire team there that's in the front lines of this just awful virus that continues to just destroy entire families in some cases. Do come back and get us another update. And we really do appreciate your time.
Thanks for having me.